So apparently migrants built this giant monstrosity of a structure in a neighborhood, and neighbors can't believe that they're getting away with it. Apparently they will.
Outrage in Northern Virginia neighborhood tonight over a new addition being built onto a house. Fox 5's Bob Barnard in Fairfax County with the details and a look at that construction causing the uproar.
It really is a sight to behold here on Marble Lane in the Greenbrier section of Fairfax County. That three-story addition to a home built in the 1960s that's now the talk and outrage of the neighborhood.
I mean, it looks like a townhouse. It looks like a portion of a townhouse that has been added on to a small A-framed one-story house.
Courtney Leonard lives literally in the shadow of the new addition being built onto her next-door neighbor's house.
Design-wise, it doesn't look anything like what it's attached to or anything else in the neighborhood.
Courtney says there's no HOA here, so no rules that have to be followed. Other neighbors tell us they're okay with this, that 3 generations of a very nice family will be living here. That family told us they had nothing to add to our story.
According to the zoning laws, they are well within their rights, and there's really nothing I can do about it.
Courtney says she and her family were given no advance notice.
It seems to me that when you put something like this up, you want to talk to your neighbors about it, but we have not spoken to them since.
It feels like it's not real when you see it. I mean, you've seen it, so yeah, it's shocking.
Katie Dash lives several blocks away and says she's alarmed, like many who know about this.
And so I think we're all just concerned if it could happen to her, it could happen to any of us, and I'm still confused how it was approved. I think that's our biggest issue in the neighborhood. It's like, how there has to be something wrong.
It's been weeks and weeks of back and forth, and I love this neighborhood, and the people in it have been so helpful. It just feels like there's nowhere else to go at this point.
We turned to Pat Harity for clarification. He's the Fairfax County supervisor for this area and has been out to see this with his own eyes.
Clearly does not belong in our suburban neighborhoods, a structure like that, 8.5 feet from the property line, three stories tall for the length of the lot. It has no place. And we need to fix our zoning ordinance to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Supervisor Harity says he's going to propose that fix at the board's meeting next Tuesday. In the meantime, late today, we heard from Fairfax County staff that while this addition does fall within the zoning guidelines for height, as built, it's too close to Courtney's property line. And so construction has been paused. What's to come of this project is still to be determined. Guys?
Yeah, the winds sounds like a Vietnamese family or something like that, but that's just a bad neighbor. If they do change the ordinance though, I wonder if the winds are gonna be grandfathered in, you know? I feel bad for her, like her property value going down. It's sad.
In this episode of Neighbors from Hell, check out this property right here. It's being built next to this woman's house right here. She is highly upset. Here's the neighbor right here who's mad that they are able and allowed to fully build this property only 8 feet away from her property. Now here's an aerial view of the property. Now keep in mind, guess what? There is no HOA. The city allowed the permits and allowed for the build to happen, as you can see. Now part of the neighborhood says they're cool with it, they don't have any problem with it, but again, it's not right next to their house. And then the other half, there's a few people who are like, well, what if it does happen next to my house? So what would y'all say if someone built this big ass property next to your house? It's attached to the house who have lived there for years, and 3 generations of family are going to live there. Is there an issue with this or not?
Yeah, it's a huge issue with it because it's automatically lowering the value of their home. It's just stealing the equity out of their home, pretty much, because if they were to evaluate this on the market, nobody's gonna want to buy that shit. Like that big ass monstrosity next to me, no, I don't want you. You're stuck here. So it kind of like forces her to fight it, you know, because she won't be able to sell her home even if she wanted to move.
3 generations of the Wynn family live here in the Greenbrier neighborhood in Fairfax County. Mike Wynn tells me he lives there with his wife, 2 young kids, and his parents as well. He says not enough room in that home for everybody. That's why he wanted to build this addition, but it's got everybody talking because of its size. 3 stories tall, and in addition, if you'll look to the right, kind of looms over the neighboring property there. So some people really don't like what's being built here. Interestingly, though, the folks in that home, at least Chris Leonard, the homeowner who I talked to, he says he loves the Wynns and he has concerns, but they're not directed at the Wynn family themselves. Now, no work is going on this at the moment because Fairfax County says this does follow zoning rules, so they approved it. However, they say there's a side setback rule that what is actually being built is not following, and that's why the work has stopped. Now, Mike Wynn, the homeowner, says, look, I'm just building exactly what the county approved. That said, he plans to meet with the county on Tuesday to try to come up with a path forward. Meanwhile, one Fairfax County supervisor, Pat Harity, he represents this area. He tells us he wants to propose new zoning rules potentially that would prevent things like this that loom over neighboring properties in the future.
I'm going to assume that he's going to be grandfathered into the old zoning law. They can't just make him tear it down. I feel bad for those neighbors, though, because they're stuck there. Like, there's no... That's horrible. That really is. That's really horrible. The Wynns are so fucking selfish.
Everybody shut the fuck up. Hey, shut the fuck up. Let me tell you something right now.
If you made it this far, check out the video we just did where the panel from Room 9 discussed Laura Winslow and her recent weight change.